So here is the ultimate diary planner. I wanted to do you a little kind of show through so you could see what each of the pages has in it. So obviously we have our lovely pink bright cover, and then when you open it up you get a nice little page with some quotes on, just to be inspiring. Obviously the copyright bits and bobs, and then a nice little welcome which basically just tells you a little bit about how you can use the book and what you should be kind of doing on each bit of the pages. So then we start it off with where am I now and my current branding. So we look at things like the business turnover and the profit, the number of contacts on your list, social networks that you're active on, the sort of online activity, whether you've got uniform, print and promotional products you're doing, etc. And then obviously some space for notes. So the plan is with this, I always get all my clients to do this, is that you fill this in once a year or once every 6 months, and it just helps you keep track, because it's really easy to go through a year in business and be focusing so much on where you want to be that you kind of forget what you came from. So these are really good to do regularly, so you can then look back and see how well you've done and how far you've come. Then we get to a year at a glance. We've got 2 of these pages, and this is the one which is really handy for jotting down maybe some themes. So if you're writing, say, blogs, or you're doing a set promotion for each month, or you want something that you're going to focus on each month, then you can jot those down in here and you can just really quickly see exactly what you've got coming up. Obviously you can use them however suits you. The whole great thing about having a planner with like this is that you can just make it your own and do whatever suits you on these pages. If you've got something else that's specific that works for this, then use it for that. Then we have another year at a glance, which has got each of the days of each month. So it's a bit more specific. You've obviously got to write a bit smaller, but it's a really handy way of kind of blocking out bits of areas where you've got things happening, and you can keep track and see at a glance what's happening there. And I've put in for you already a few of the kind of key dates, you know, Valentine's Day and Christmas, and just a few other things as well, like World Music Day or Volunteers Recognition Day, Mother Earth Day, you know, Awesomeness Day, things like this, which you might be able to use as a bit of inspiration to run promotions or special offers or whatever, really. And there will be other ones that will be relevant for you, so you can use that for that. Then we go into my rules for 2015, which are essentially people and things you want to work with and do, things that you're not going to do, because sometimes we need to set rules for ourselves, and also what days and times, you know, you're going to be working. So you can, it sounds really easy, but sometimes a little bit more difficult when you sit down to do it, but it's a really good thing to decide and set yourself some rules for the year. Then we have a planner. You can use it for social media, or you can use it for, you know, how you're going to work during the week, but it's a really easy, great way of at a glance seeing your week and kind of planning out what you want to do with it. This is one of my favourite pages, which is Super Statistics Tracker, and it's a way for you to keep track of all the statistics that you have for your business throughout the year. You'll see there's a few in there already with mailing list, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. You can add in other ones. So some of the ones that I've added in for mine are website hits, sales of a certain product, and various different things like that. So other social networks as well, maybe responses to things and events that I'm running, or money raised for charity or whatever. You can add those all in here, and then each month, I recommend doing it at the same date each month. You just pop it in there. So I do mine on the 28th. So I'll do it 28th of January, I did mine, then 28th of February I'll do mine, and then I'll run through like that. So I can keep track of how I'm growing, what I need to focus on for the year. Then we have a page, I Deserve It. This is one of the things I do with my coaching clients, which is essentially that you need to make time for you, because it's easy to get burnt out and run out of steam if you don't do that. So this is a really nice little exercise. It's a quick little one to do. It's actually a little bit more challenging than you first think, but you write down things that you like to do within certain time points, and then when you've got a spare day or afternoon, or you're going to plan in some time to do some things, you can come back here for inspiration as to what you're going to do, which you actually enjoy and is actually going to feed your soul, if you will, rather than just, you know, waste the time or do something else. So that's a really good one. I've got a few recommended books that I like to read. I do a gratitude diary, so this tells you a little about that and how it can positively affect your life if you do the same. And then we look at outsourcing. if you haven't already started outsourcing for your business, it's definitely something worth investigating, and there are loads of different ways that you can do that. This is just a nice little area where you can jot down some ideas of what you might outsource and where and all of that sort of stuff. Now we get into the nitty gritty, the bones, the nuts and bolts of this planner. And this is what makes it the kind of the planner, real planner, diary planner side of it. So each month you get a double page spread for the month ahead. So we've got January, and then we flick through, they're all blue so you can find them. Then you've got February, and then it runs through for each month as well. So then you would have March, and then it runs through. So they're all the same, and they list the important tasks you've got to do, some of the goals, good things that happened last month, the main focus you want to achieve this month, some notes, important events, and then you've got the whole month here as well. So you can quickly jot down days and things you've got happening. So if you want to at a glance just see what's happening in the month, you can see it there. I would point out as well, as part of, in the folder, you'll also get some digital files with this, and that will be a digital copy of this, so you can reprint any of the pages that you want if you just want to have them as an extra set. You also get a month planner, which is very much laid out with every day of the month. And it's laid out in this sort of a format, so you get the whole month on one page with blocks, so you can fill in different things on the page, so you can print them off and put them on your wall and things if you want to for that. So that's the month, and then you have a double page spread of notes, because it's really handy, and I've filled my pages. Definitely, it just means I know where things are when I put them in. So then we move into the weekly planners, and this is the same for the whole year. So every day of the whole year, every week of the whole year, you've got this in here, and essentially it's got important events, the most important tasks, a mini day planner, which is actually quite handy for jotting down things. So kind of before breakfast, between breakfast and lunch and dinner, and then maybe in the evening. So if you're going to work an evening, or you've got a networking event or something, you can just kind of jot it in there to remind yourself that it's happening. And then you've got the things to get done today, which are done in a list with tick boxes, because I was finding that when I was doing it in a page per view with times, I wasn't necessarily doing the things at the times. They were more to-do lists, so I didn't include times in this one because everybody just does things so differently. I often get up at 5 in the morning and do work before school, before I do the, obviously school run with my daughter. My daughter's nearly 15, but other people like to work in the evening, so I felt that it was easier to do it like you can jot in the time or just write down the list. What I tend to do is write a list, and then I tick them off, and I've even got to the point where I now I have a bit of a pen thing, so I tend to write my to-dos in pink and then I tick them off in purple. So you can even get a bit OCD with your types of pens that you use if you wish to. And then at the bottom is what's for dinner, which a lot of people find really handy. I took what other people were missing in their diaries and we kind of mixed it all together. And then also I love quotes, so you'll find that every page in this book nearly has got a quote on it. They're up here. There's also, again, looking at the kind of law of attraction and gratitude, fab stuff that happened this week. You can write in a few things that you've been really happy with. And then there's a space for notes as well, which again, I don't think you can ever have too much space for notes. So that takes you through the month, and you go through there. And then at the end of the month, there's another page, double page spread of notes as well. And there's 2 of these each month. So then we get to the end of January, we open up, we have February. There's another quote there. So we know it's Valentine's Day, send a card to a friend day. So that's quite nice, little things like that. Then again, you get the notes. You'll see each double page, each month has got different background pictures. And then you get the weeks, and then we go through, and then you get the notes again, and then you're in the next month. And that is it. That's the whole rest of the book. Is these pages, so you literally can work through them, and because it's coil bound you can wrap it round and have it open on your desk like that, whichever way suits you. So I find that incredibly handy to have, because I do have it on my desk. In fact, I've got my copy here. You can see loads of scribbles and bits all in there. So I've been really using mine. It never leaves my side. It's one of the most handiest diary planners I've had, which is great because obviously I designed it specifically for that reason. So that's it in a nutshell. That is the Ultimate Diary Planner, and you can, it's fabulously pink, it's unashamedly pink. I have been asked to do it in blue, we'll see next year, but that's it. So you can buy it at www.ultimatediaryplanner.com, and it's there. You can see some testimonials from other people that have had it, but that's in a nutshell, example of exactly what you get when you get the diary planner, so you can see if it's a good fit for you. And of course it's A4, so it's a big chunky thing, but it is brilliant, and it gives you enough space to get everything you want in there. So there we go. Enjoy.